The NDSU football team gets invited to the White House.
A spotlight on the 93rd Little International.
And how you can make some extra cash while you're in college.
You're watching Bison Information Network News. Last Friday, in an announcement from Senator John Hoeven, President Trump has extended an invitation to the 2018 North Dakota State Football team for a celebration in their honor at the White House.
The team has won 7 of the last 8 FCS national championships, but no team from this level of football has ever been invited to Washington, D.C. The visit date has been scheduled for March 4th, and personnel attending are yet to be determined, though Hoeven, NDSU, President Trump, and the White House are all in collaboration around the event's planning process.
Due to the transitional period and stress involved with being in college, the risk of suicide is high, making it the second leading cause of death for college students. Because of this, the Counseling Center program NDSU Cares gave a presentation to raise student awareness about suicide. This includes teaching about risk factors and warning signs. NDSU Cares and the Counseling Center hope to build a supportive environment on campus so students feel safe about seeking help.
We all struggle. We all have our own difficulties, and it can be easy to feel like you're alone in situations, and I feel that if we can help others and provide them that support that they need, letting them know that we care and that we can walk with them through their journey is, I think, an important thing for me, because provides meaning to what I'm doing, because I'm not just helping myself, I'm helping others.
So making sure that
NDSU Cares will have a presentation each month. All students and staff are welcome.
Last weekend, the 93rd Little International was held at Shepherd Arena for the final show on Saturday. This event was put together by members of Saddle and Sirloin Club, and the contestants are also a part of S&S. Every year, contestants work with their animals, either cattle, pigs, or sheep, for up to a month before the show day. This includes training, bathing, and giving them haircuts. As Little I came to a close, a champion was announced, and this year it was Katie Holm, who showed a pig and was also the pig assistant supervisor. This is one of NDSU's longest running traditions and is a long journey of training, getting the arena ready, and hanging thousands of streamers.
North Dakota Nursing Students Association has named an NDSU professor as Nurse Educator of the Year. Schaefer Frazee, a registered nurse and professor at the NDSU School of Nursing, has received the title of Nurse Educator of the Year. The award was presented at North Dakota Nursing Students Association Annual Convention on January 25th. The honorary award goes to nurse educators who have demonstrated exceptional teaching in their field. Frazee was recognized for her interactive and high-energy teaching style. She says she is thankful for the opportunity to share her passion for nursing.
Registration is now open for the annual NDSU Explore Showcase. The event is an opportunity to celebrate undergraduate excellence in research and creative activity. Students from all disciplines are invited to present their work. This event will take place April 11th in the Memorial Union. Students are encouraged to present their work in progress or recently completed projects. Prior to the event, students will prepare a poster board and oral presentation to present to faculty member and students. Registration must be completed by March 22nd. For more information, visit www.ndsu.edu/research. NDSU's Department of Research and Creative Activity says that the event builds skills that employers seek, such as innovation, communication, and collaboration.
And now we'll take a look at the weather. Right now it's about 0 degrees outside and winds reaching as high as 17 miles per hour. Lows tonight are expected to reach around 10 below zero. For the rest of the week, we can expect mostly cloudy skies and the sun creeping out Tuesday and Wednesday. Highs for the week will be in the low teens, and lows will be in the single digits and some reaching single negative digits. No snow is expected this week.
Scholarships, mental health first aid training, and what to expect at the 4th annual press party.
That and more when we come back. As we dive deeper and deeper into the spring semester, the deadline to apply for scholarships is nearing its last couple of weeks. Students are highly encouraged to fill out their scholarships soon to make it easier to pay for their upcoming tuition. To be considered or apply for a 2019-2020 NDSU scholarship, students must be a continuing student or a new student for that year. It is also important to fill out your FAFSA in order to be considered for an NDSU scholarship. The deadline for filling out a scholarship for the upcoming school year is March 1st.
This year, major health concerns continue around the vaping epidemic. Phrases like nicotine-addicted teens, banned flavors, and FDA crackdowns pepper the nightly news and the internet. But aside from the fear, what do we really know about vapes and e-cigarettes? Bison Information Network News reporter Gabby Hirsch reports about the facts about vaping.
Confusion surrounding the ingredients in vape juice, the health effects of vaping versus smoking, and the addictiveness and safety of nicotine all contribute to false claims and mass public concern. What do we know? Juul, the e-cigarette that took the vaping world by storm, is often the subject of controversy when it comes to the current e-cigarette health concern. Marketed as the alternative for adult smokers, Juul has faced backlash for producing flavors like fruit medley and mango, which, in combination with the sleek USB-shaped design, makes Juul alluring to the teenage market. Although the e-cig spotlight has recently pinpointed Juul, many other vape brands have been selling appealing vape juice flavors. Also known as vapes and vape pens, electronic cigarettes are battery-operated devices that allow users to inhale doses of vaporized nicotine. One Juul pod contains the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes. However, the fact remains that e-cigarettes do not contain the 3,000 plus chemicals that cigarettes do, 70 of which are known to cause cancer. While nicotine is not as harmful as the many other chemicals and carcinogens in cigarettes, it is one of the most addictive. Nicotine affects the central nervous system, producing pleasurable effects, dependency, and withdrawal. According to drugabuse.gov, research suggests that e-cigs are less harmful than cigarettes when people who regularly smoke switch to them as a complete replacement, but e-cigarettes can still damage a person's health. While vaping has been useful for many former smokers, the Juul company recommends that people who have never smoked should not try Juul for the risk of unnecessary nicotine addiction. Bison Information Network does not aim to endorse or promote smoking or vaping of any form. I'm Gabby Hirsch, BIN News.
The FDA has been working hard to enforce regulations in the e-cigarette industry, and research about the health effects of vaping is still ongoing.
Anti-vaxxers, or people who refuse to vaccinate their children, have become a global health concern. Last month, the World Health Organization released their list of world health emergencies for 2019. Vaccine hesitancy was listed in their top 10. Some anti-vaxxers believe that vaccinations contain ingredients and chemicals that can cause autism. Failure to vaccinate against preventable diseases has caused outbreaks of measles and diphtheria in recent years. NDSU Biological Sciences instructor Kimberly Booth explains the importance of getting vaccinated and the concept of herd immunity.
Herd immunity is the idea that there is a vulnerable part of the population that cannot be vaccinated for whatever reasons. So what they have to do is they have to rely on everybody else that can get vaccinated to be vaccinated.
The Center for Disease Control and Prevention states that there is no link between vaccinations and autism. For more information on vaccines, be sure to consult trusted sources like the Center for Disease Control, the World Health Organization, and licensed medical professionals. Rounds 1 and 2 of the Career Center's Major Madness event took place earlier this week. Major Madness was created with the intention of helping students find new majors and career opportunities within their major. This Tuesday, the Memorial Union hosted a Meet Your Major Fair, and 2 other related events were hosted on campus today. Students interested in learning more about when Major Madness will take place can find information on the NDSU Career Center website.
NDSU Press is set to host the 4th annual official book launch party. At the press party, NDSU Press, an organization that promotes interdisciplinary scholarships, will be hosting their 4th annual book launch on Thursday, March 7th. The event will take place during the press party at the Harry D. McGovern Alumni Center. NDSU Press authors will read from their newest books. Some of the titles featured include Apples in the Middle, Pacing Dakota, Destiny Manifested, Hunter's Log, and Still. Suzanne Kelly, NDSU Press Editor-in-Chief, says that there will be something for everyone.
After the break, how students can make extra cash this semester, and the 3-minute thesis competition.
When we come back. For some students, classwork, friends, and extracurricular activities make having a part-time job impossible.
Fortunately, students can take advantage of various options around campus or in the Fargo-Moorhead area to make a little extra cash on the side. Various options include donating plasma through BioLife, taking part in NDSU research studies and surveys, or participate in a pharmaceutical study. Novum Pharmaceutical Research Services offers paid participation studies for those willing and able, mostly testing generic brand drugs. Novum offers 3 available studies to participate in: skin treatments, which require an overnight stay, dosage tests, which require blood draws and overnight stays, and patch treatments, which requires participants to check back regularly over a 3 to 6 week period.
They're going to be more and more expensive. It's just nice knowing the fact that we're able to do something to keep those costs down. Generic medications have a big play in the market, and they always will have, and knowing that we're doing our part to get those to market to keep the healthcare costs down is kind of what makes me keep going. It's one thing that I enjoy about this business.
Each of the treatments can pay anywhere from $50 to $350 to around $1,000 respective to the study you are participating in. Participants are only allowed to participate in a study every 30 days, though you can screen your next study within those 30 days.
Last Saturday, thousands of pancakes and sausages were served and consumed at the Fargo Dome. However, the event was not the typical pancake breakfast. Bison Information Network reporter Noah Smith has more on the story.
The Kiwanis Pancake Carnival has filled up the Fargo-Moorhead area for the past 61 years, and it wouldn't be around for this long if it didn't have its many supporters.
And it's worth the long lines. We were in line for 40 minutes.
Tens of thousands are expected to attend the carnival every time it's hosted, which calls for a large amount of inventory and volunteers.
Historically, we average making approximately 36,000 pancakes. We go through 21 to 23,000 ounces of syrup. Let's see, I think it was 5,000 pounds of sausage. There's about 300 volunteers that we organize.
Some of those volunteers range from area high schoolers to those who simply love helping out in their community.
Well, it's fun. It gets me out of the office, get to meet great people like you and all these other fun people out here, see people you don't normally see the rest of the year, and a lot of fun with the kids out here laughing over the bouncy houses and everything else.
Kiwanis pulls off this amazing feat of flapjack flipping every year and hopes to raise funds for local nonprofits, so far collecting over $750,000 in the years they've operated, and they are adamant about continuing this tradition for many years to come. Noah Smith, BIN News.
So far, the event has helped Kiwanis raise more than $750,000 over the years. The next event is yet to be scheduled.
The IACUC team here at NDSU is hosting a rodent training session throughout the next couple of months. The training is taught by Dr. Jody Herring, Scott Hosselton, and Tom Gustad. The first session involved mouse handling and husbandry basics, where participants also learned restraint and other various procedures. The next training session is scheduled for February 28th from 3 p.m. to 4:30 p.m., where participants will learn blood collection and injection training. The training is open to faculty, staff, and students.
Next Thursday, NDSU's Graduate School will be hosting its 5th annual 3-minute thesis competition in the Memorial Union's upper level. At this event, graduate students will compete against each other to present their research and its significance, the best, all while speaking in layman terms. Contestants are given a momentary reward for advancing through each round. All participants must sign a release form prior to the event. Any questions on eligibility and competition rules can be found at ndsu.edu/gradschool. After the break, Isak Dinesen has our sports update.
What do you have for us, Isaac?
Well, we're going to be taking a look at the recent happenings in NDSU basketball, plus the softball and baseball teams also starting up action around this time when we come back. Last Saturday, the NDSU men's basketball team returned home after 4 consecutive conference road games, winning each of their last 3, including a down-to-the-wire finish in Grand Forks. The Bison were tasked with facing a Denver Pioneers team that came in near the bottom of the Summit League, but that was no excuse not to remain focused. Bison back at home for the first time in a couple weeks. Rocky Cruiser getting his teammates fired up, and in the first minute of the game, he's going to find himself wide open for the two-handed stuff to put the Bison on the board. Then he's going to set a screen for Vinny Shahid and flare out to the three-point line and knock one down from the perimeter. Bison out to the early lead in the first half. Shahid will take the screen from Dangu, finish at the rim. He had a great night in this one. 14 points for him in the first half. Sam Griesel here collapses the defense and hits Tyree Edey from the left corner for a 3. He had 3 in the first half. Bison led by 14 at the break. Denver got it down to as little as a 2-point game in the second half before Vinny Shahid went to work again, knocking this one down off a little hesitation step back. And then later in the second half, he's going to cross over Joe Rosga of Denver and drive to the basket and finish. Big day for Vinny Shahid. Bison take home the victory.
So much from a poise standpoint, and
You know, when you've got a point guard like Vinny, like he's playing, and you got multiple, you know, Camden, you know, he gets a couple fouls in the first half, not really got into rhythm, but when you got a couple point guards, it makes a big difference down the stretch.
NDSU won by the final score of 81-71, their 4th victory in a row, and Shahid finished with 27 points, 5 rebounds, and 7 assists. The next task for the Herd is a home clash against Oral Roberts happening as we are live right now. They'll then take on conference-leading South Dakota State on Saturday. In women's basketball action, NDSU faced off against Oral Roberts last night in the program's annual Pink Game, a night dedicated to those fallen victim to or continuing to fight against breast cancer. Bison are wearing their pink uniforms here in this game, and early in this one, a nice high-low entry pass to Emily Dietz. She's going to finish that one plus the foul to put the Bison on the board. At the end of the first quarter, Sofia Zovalovic is going to knock this fadeaway down at the buzzer to put the Bison up 21-19 at the end of the first quarter. Now she's going to come off a Dietz screen, square up, knock down a 3. She had a career-high 16 points off the bench in this one. Bison led by 4 at the half. In the second half, however, Oral Roberts would clamp down defensively. Maya Mayberry puts the Eagles in front, and that would ultimately lead to the Eagles taking control of this one. Lakota Beatty knocks this 3 down to essentially seal the deal. Oral Roberts comes into town and earns a hard-fought road victory.
Remind everybody that we're a well-balanced team. You know, I think everybody knows Michelle Gazarova can shoot the ball, and certainly Emily Dietz had her career night last home game. But Sophia also, you know, really played at a great pace today.
NDSU only scored 20 points in the second half after scoring 21 in the first quarter alone. Michelle Geislerova also chipped in with 15 points in the effort for the Bison, who will host South Dakota State this Saturday at 1 p.m. This Friday night, the Bison wrestling team will host its final home duel of the season as NDSU takes on South Dakota State at the Shields Center. The team will also honor its seniors stepping onto their home mat for the final time. The Bison are coming off their most dominant win in over a decade, a 47-3 decision over Utah Valley on February 1st. The team recorded 4 pins that night, including West Fargo native Brandon Metz's shocking upset over 11th-ranked Tate Orndorff in the 285-pound matchup. With the victory, the Bison improved to 4-3 in the Big 12 and 9-5 overall. As for the Jackrabbits, they come into this meeting just 1-5 against Big 12 opponents, which includes losing each their last 2 conference duels. The meet is scheduled to begin at 7 p.m. Last weekend, the Bison softball team opened its 2019 campaign in San Marcos, Texas at the Texas State Bobcat Classic. Due to weather conditions in Fargo at the time, the Bison could not leave town on time, and each game originally scheduled for Friday was moved to Saturday. All in all, NDSU won 3 of the 4 games it participated in, including a 6-2 win over Texas San Antonio, a 6-5 come-from-behind win over Abilene Christian, and a 4-3 10-inning win over host Texas State. The team has since started play in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico today, and has won against Northern Colorado, and also took number 11 Arkansas to the wire before losing on a walk-off walk. The Bison have 2 remaining games in Mexico. The 5-time defending Summit League tournament champions are currently 6 games into their 40 away from home to begin the season. While college softball season is already underway, the NDSU baseball team will start its season this Friday night in Sacramento, California. The team is scheduled to play a 3-game series against the Sacramento State Hornets starting Friday at 8 p.m. Central Time. The Bison have 4 seniors and 11 juniors listed on their roster, returning from a 26-24 campaign in 2018 that saw them fall in the Summit League tournament against South Dakota State to close their season. NDSU has not made an NCAA regional tournament since 2014, and their quest to get back there this season will begin with 25 consecutive road games before returning to Newman Outdoor Field in early April. As the weeks go by, the awards and recognition for Bison thrower Peyton Otterdahl continue to pile up, building on an already extensive trophy case. Otterdahl recently received his 4th Summit League Men's Track and Field Athlete of the Week honor this indoor season, due largely in part to extending his career best in the weight throw at the SDSU Indoor Classic in Brookings, South Dakota. He already owned the longest weight throw in the NCAA this season, but he added 15 inches to his previous best distance. Otterdahl is now top 5 in the NCAA record books for longest weight throw of all time, a distinction he also holds in the shot put event, which no other men's track and field competitor in history can claim. Both the men's and women's track and field teams expect to have competitors in next weekend's Summit League Indoor Championships in Brookings. Now, usually when you think about Bison athletics and successful play, you think more about the football team, but Peyton Otterdahl's proven that theory wrong.
Yeah, the track team up here at NDSU has been historically dominant over the past few years, so it's really nice to finally see someone get recognition. Thanks, Isaac. Stay with us after the break for this week's Bison on the Street.
We'll be right back.
Today is Valentine's Day, and that means plenty of candy is to be consumed, and not to mention all the discounts on candy available the next day.
I asked NDSU students what their favorite Valentine's Day candy was and why in this week's Bison on the Street.
Assorted chocolates, because life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
My favorite Valentine's Day candy is Fun Dip, just because you can like lick it and then stick it in there and it's fun, and plus the candy tastes so good.
I really dislike Valentine's Day altogether, so I don't really like any candies.
I don't know. I guess like the Brookside chocolate covered like acai berries, those are pretty great. Yeah, so it's not really Valentine's candy, but it's fine, I guess.
My favorite Valentine's Day candy is Girl Scout cookies because they're inexpensive and really good.
My favorite Valentine's Day candy would be Lindor raspberry-filled squares. They're dark chocolate, they're raspberry, just there's nothing to hate about that.
My favorite Valentine's Day candy is Hershey's Kisses because they're small and they melt in your mouth.
My favorite Valentine's Day candy is definitely the bag of Jelly Bellies that I would have gotten in elementary school that had a note that said, "I love you, Heart Mom."
Well, I don't know about you guys, but my personal favorite Valentine's Day candy is anything with milk chocolate, really.
Fair enough. I'm a simple man. I'm a Reese's guy.
I'm a fan of dark chocolate.
Well, that's going to do it for us. Thanks for watching this edition of Bison Information Network News.
Don't forget to check us out on Facebook, YouTube, and our website.
And catch us back here next Thursday night. Have a great night, everyone.